Hey, yo, tribe.
What's up? Welcome to the Disconnect, where reconnection is the dialect. I am Eyebee and this is my co-host.
Yeah, J Know the Sun King. We here live in the mix, finna get it and get it and get it and get it and get it.
Yes, sir. But first, we gonna give a shout out to the sponsor.
Wildlife Vodka. Make sure you drinking responsibly.
Please
you see,
do.
we got it right there. Yeah, you got to pull up and show up, you know. But yeah, if you're doing your thing, make sure you're doing it responsibly.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So, we're gonna get into a topic today. It's a very touchy topic. Very touchy. The word. Y'all ready? Everybody ready?
Shoot.
Submissive. Very triggering.
Yeah, triggering for a lot of folks. I see that, you know, on social media, they be going hard off that, you know, being submissive and what it is to be submissive. Yeah. So we're going to dive into what it really means. You know
12 verse. Well, let's get into the history of it all, right? I went ahead and went to the Bible for the history. First, we're going to read from Corinthians 14 and 34.
Yes, Lord.
Let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith law. It's a second one too. Ephesians 5 and 22. Wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands as you do the Lord. For the husband is the lead of the wife, as Christ is the lead of the church, his body, of which he is the Savior.
Amen.
Yeah.
So, how you feel about that?
Okay, so now, all before I felt like be submissive.
Yeah.
It was triggering. But now that I read it like in my adult life, I'm going to compare it to the animal kingdom. I'm going to say when the male is looking for a mate, he can't mate with her unless she submit. Is that what that submit mean? Is that some form of it too? Like I have to submit to you in some.
I could definitely see that. I feel like over time the word has become misconstrued.
It's become. Let's look up the definition of submission. Let's see what Google say. What's submission? Y'all bear with me.
Yeah, I think it's become misconstrued. I think even the definition that you probably gonna get right now is gonna be that modern definition of what, you know, people look at it and why they triggered. You know what I mean? And I would understand why they would be triggered.
Right.
With the way it is. But I feel like we got to really, really break down that word, you know, in the context. Because whenever you're ready, though, go ahead.
Well, according to Google, it says accept or yield to a superior force or to the authority or will of another person.
Them ors is important. So I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that. I thought it was gonna be some, you know.
Right.
So it's like,
and that's just the first definition. It's a second one as well.
Okay.
The second one says subject to a particular process, treatment, or condition. That's the one I was talking about. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, because when you see, I was at the park one day and I was watching these birds. They would, you know, getting ready to, y'all know what's up.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle. Yeah,
you know,
that type, yeah.
And, you know, he was trying to, you know, he was pulling up on it like he was trying to get to her. You know, he was trying to, you know, get to it. He just couldn't get her. So finally, she submitted. Like she laid down and it's like she was submitting. Like, you know, like, nigga, it's good. You know?
Yeah, so you can make it happen.
It's good.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
She submitted. You know, so I was thinking about it like that. But now that they put it this way, even in this text and this definition, that's how I originally took it when I think about the word submission. It is triggering. Like all jokes aside, like all these jokes and stuff, it's kind of triggering because I know that they silenced the women. Right. I know that women have been silenced for thousands of years. They silenced the divine feminine, and this was kind of triggering to me.
You know what though? As you break it down that definition, it sounds like a word that just got took out of context. You know what I'm saying? That they use it to manipulate. And this is what it means to be submissive.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when you look at the root word, like when you went to it, it don't totally mean that. a part of it in that first definition.
It did,
like
yeah, say to
that
authority.
piece, to authority, you know what I'm saying? So then, but it was also them ors. So that's like 3 different, like go back to that first one again.
Okay.
Let's break it down that first one.
Accept or yield to a superior force.
I'm going to do like the church right quick. Accept. You know what I mean? So by your will, you know what I'm saying? By that person's will, they accept. I accept. Like you said, even in the with the duck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She accepted.
Right.
He was trying to shoot his shot.
She yield.
She was in yield. If you look at a traffic sign, when you yield, what? You slow down.
But what messed it up is to a superior force. Like
that's the messed up part one. That's the part.
That's what triggers people. That's the triggering part.
But then go to the next part though. So you got that's the jacked up part that everybody get, feeling.
To a superior force, to the authority or will of another person. That's the finish.
The last one, or another person.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's another or. So they ain't necessarily got to be superior or necessarily got to be an authority figure because it's or another person.
Right.
I think, they read their first little part and then it's like, heck nah. You know what I mean? So I feel like I see both sides of the coin.
Right.
I see what somebody...
Because it can very well mean both of them. Right? It can mean, I guess it depends on the... But now, if we're going to talk about the intention behind the words.
Yeah.
Because most men... When they say, she's supposed to submit to me, or women should submit, they don't mean it in their second definition. They mean it in their first.
They mean it in that old Abrahamic
exactly.
Bible. Yeah,
exactly.
Bible
And that's what's so triggering because that's the problem.
Right.
That's the problem.
And see, so the thing is, they have to have understanding. I think we have to have understanding that it goes both ways.
Right.
You know what I mean? When I look at the word submissive, I think about the root word of submit.
Right.
You know what I mean? To hand over, which the same thing is yield.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like when somebody submit an application for a job, they handing it over. You know what I mean? So saying, hey, I'm going to hand this over to you.
Right.
And I think submission goes in so many ways. Men and women both submit.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
exactly.
It's like, let's say, let's go the household, that's a form of submission for the man to say, hey, I feel like I'm trusting you're going to take care to do with the kids and you're going to make sure everything's straight. That's submission.
Right.
It's so different type of perspectives. People can look at it different type of way. You know what I mean? Are you leaving me with these kids? This.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you got some deadbeat or some niggas that don't want to be active and stuff like that. But I'm talking about a man that is active, that maybe he's off doing something else. You know what I'm saying? For the family. And so he's trusting that she's going to do it. So that's submission. Submission, give him her back. That's submission. You know what I mean? He handed it over to her. He yielded to her to say, hey, I trust you. You're going to take care of this.
And even on the flip side, for her to say, I trust you're going to take care of the finances.
Right.
I trust that you're going to, I trust that we're not going to be put out on the street.
Right.
Because you're getting disconnect notices and stuff like that, like 3 months later.
Yeah.
I mean, but like I said, I could see like how it could be triggering because I know that, and the women been silenced for a long time. They do have a lot of scriptures in the Bible that supports when they were saying that women should be silent. They got a lot of people that they'll pull up to a church, they see as a woman pastor, they'll turn around. They'll turn right around. They got a pastor that's, I'm not going to say no names, but they got a pastor that's,
Do it.
Fuck them people toes. But they got a pastor, a real famous pastor that a lot of people be listening to. And he don't have nothing very nice to say about women. Everything he say about women is just, it's very triggering. For me, when I hear people listening to him, it's just, but all these different scriptures, they talk about women being silent. And like I say, that's most triggering for most women. And that's what make people turn away. That's one of the things that made me turn away from religion, to be honest with you. That's one of them that made me, because I'm like, I'm not gonna go where I'm tolerated. I'm gonna go where I'm appreciated. I don't want to be somewhere where I'm not heard. Because who the hell don't want to be heard? Right? Everybody want to be heard. Everybody want to feel like their opinion or their feelings is valid.
Right. That they matter.
That they matter.
You know what I mean? Just that they matter as a person. I think that just understand how somebody feeling where they at. It's saying like, hey, you matter. You know what I'm saying? You are important.
So I don't want to subscribe to a group or a belief system that's telling me that my feelings don't matter, that my opinions don't matter, that I don't, I'm not saying that I need to be quarrelsome, right? ladies, because this is not me telling you that you need to be you know, all in your man ear. Yeah, like you don't need to be that way either. It's a way that you could do things. You could do things where you vibrating in your feminine, and you're not triggering, and you're not challenging his manhood, and you can still get your point across,
right,
in a healthy way,
right.
you know. So
yeah, I think too in a form of submission that a woman should trust her choice. You know what I'm saying? If she's questioning her choice, like if she chose to be with this man, then she had this, it was something about him that she trusted that she could, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it's getting to that point where you feel like there's no trust, like you got to keep doing that, then you might need to question your relationship. Do I need to stay with this man?
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you don't want to just submit to anybody.
Right. You know what I mean? So if you find yourself constantly in that situation,
right?
You know, check yourself and check him too. Check the whole scenario.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go within first. Like,
yeah.
am I nagging too much? Am I being quarrelsome?
Yeah.
If you feel like, you know what I'm saying, everything is valid, like, no, this is a valid point.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now you should then check and you know, whether like, hey, is this the person for me who I should be with?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Do we align?
Right. I think when you find that dynamic like that, a great dynamic, you'll be submitting back and forth and not even realizing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It won't even think about it.
It's
like,
just natural.
It just be natural. You know what I'm saying?
I can see that.
It's aligned. So it's just like, yeah, you know, he do this, she do that, you know, I know, and you feel good about it.
Like filling in each other blanks.
Right. You know, and like I said, you feel good about it. You're not like, you know, oh, this mother, I'm gonna go ahead and
right.
you know,
right.
stuff like that, you know.
Being pressed, like you being pressed to do it, or you got to do it for this reason, or you got to do it for that reason, or this, you know. Right. But I know that most men, when they say that, this is the way that they mean it. So it takes a divine masculine to make a woman feel okay with submitting to him. Like it can't be, you know, you can't be around here submitting to toxic masculinity, right? Somebody that's gonna abuse the fact that you submitted to him. Like you can't be. Nobody gonna. You shouldn't want to submit to. You shouldn't want that for your daughters. You shouldn't want that for your daughters. You shouldn't want that for nobody. Your sisters, nobody. But a lot of people take advantage of that word. They take that word submission, and I see a lot of these dudes, like even on these podcasts.
Yeah.
And they take that and they just run with it. I want a woman. I even see dudes where they talk about what they call them passport bros.
Yeah,
the ones they don't even want American women. The women overseas, you know, she's much more submissive. Of course, she's probably much more submissive because she don't have the resources. She's lacking resources.
Yeah.
And everything too. You go get somebody from a poor country or from a third world country,
yeah, right.
And she really trying to escape her situation. She's not going with you. She's not submitting to you because this is something that she wholeheartedly want to do. This lady trying to escape the situation that she in, and she heard that it's better over here in America. She really using you, and you low key using her. You know, like you really not. You know,
using and not utilizing.
Exactly,
it's totally different. Yeah,
you know, so that's a big difference. So yeah, the women over there, of course, they more submissive.
You know, I want to add to this too. In the act of submitting to your partners, is that you're basically trusting a leadership role in that position.
Right.
I'm trusting your lead, and I want to say this too. At the first sign that, because we all human,
right?
You know what I mean. So if you submit, you know what I mean, you trust that leadership, and they don't do like you thought they should. I don't think it's a means to throw in the towel that quick and see, that's why I can't,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On both sides, understand, okay, hey, you know, we may drop the ball a little bit.
Right.
That's what people in leadership positions do.
Right.
Nobody's perfect. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that should be evaluated and looked at too and understood.
But even also with being, I moved my microphone. Even also with being so submissive, a lot of people mistake it like, oh, she's not being submissive and she's questioning me. If you making a decision that don't seem like it's a good decision, I'm gonna ask your ass, okay, so we got to talk about this,
right?
But some people identify that with a woman that's not being submissive, or a woman that's not being. It's like, is she not being submissive, or is she questioning this silly ass decision that you trying to make?
Right.
You know, they'll say, "Oh, she not being. She giving me a hard time."
Right.
You know, you gotta have some type of counsel in the household where both of y'all talk when it comes down to making decisions. I don't think that one person should make all the decisions when it come down to certain things. I think everybody should come together like on some round table meeting stuff, and everybody and y'all talk and put it all together and see what's what. So that's kind of where I fall off too with on this part right here. Let me see.
Yeah.
Go back to it.
And I don't think they should have that person, whoever's submitting, the person to submittee and submit to it, like that person shouldn't have a problem explaining what's going on. If they can't explain what they're doing, you know what I mean? They probably don't need to be doing it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean? That's true.
That means they haven't thought about it and thought it through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it should be no problem communicating and saying, hey, so this, I'm looking at it like this, this, yada, yada.
Yeah.
To help that person understand.
So in Ephesians 5:23, when it say, for a husband is the lead of the wife, as Christ is the lead of the church, his body, of which he is the Savior. How do you really feel, like, wholeheartedly? Do you feel like the husband should be the lead?
I really believe it should be whoever's the most savvy. You know what I mean? The intellect. It should be. In some cases, I feel like some people is here and there.
Circumstantial.
Circumstantial. It's really circumstantial. You're exactly right. I believe it's circumstantial. And I believe in some cases I see. Well, I feel like the man has submitted.
Right.
She on her stuff. I trust her with the bills and
right.
And they openly, they're not using the word submit, but they've become accepting. Like, man, she's smart, man. Yeah, she always did good grades in school, and she this and that. You know what I'm saying? And they rock with it. They don't have a problem with it.
Cause I didn't see some situations where they got to stay at home dads.
Yeah.
The woman that working and the dad is at home and doing, and one might say, this is not right. This is not how this supposed to be. But them people over there, they making it work. Right. That's how they're okay with their methods and their routines, and stuff like that. So, I wouldn't want to be in a situation I wouldn't want to be in a situation like that. I wouldn't want to be in no situation like that. But they got people that do be in situations like that where the guy is not the breadwinner. Like, he just kind of just staying home, and the woman is just doing like all the working and doing everything, and they're it's working for them. It's working for them.
Right.
Yeah,
because it's women out there that that's more career driven. They want to focus more on their career.
Right.
But they still want to have, kids and children and stuff like that. So they lean on the father to take care of and do those things or whatever.
So do you think that they make the man less of a man for allowing his woman?
I don't think it make him less of a. I don't think it make it less of a man. Like I say, to each his own. I'm not gonna really throw out there. I don't want to really judge him because I've never been in that situation.
Right.
I know for me, I couldn't do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I do question the balance though.
Yeah.
That children. They learn and get their emotions primarily from the mama. Right. And they draw from that.
Right.
So if their mother's not present like that, and she's constantly working and constantly gone, I question what kind of emotional intelligence, right, they'll bring in with the kids that's going to take place, because you never, you see it all the time, so, and then they begin resentful.
Yeah.
As a mom and stuff
I've seen that.
So it's cases where I've seen, they're resentful to the dad, that was working. But in those cases,
like you was never there,
right? You know what I mean. In those cases, though, they was working like extremely long hours and stuff like that, like truck drivers and stuff like that. And they was never home. You know what I mean. But for the most part, I feel like most kids get it. Like, dad working, he this that and the third, doing what he need to do. But on the other end, it gets kind of it just. I feel like kids are more open to mom. They feel more they can have. You know what I mean. Like a better. It's just that connection, that motherly connection is different from the father connection. You know what I mean? So yeah.
It starts with birth. The fact that she carried the kids, but some women, they motherhood instincts never kick in. Like, they able to have and conceive, a child, but that motherhood, that motherly thing just don't kick. I see that with women too. And sometimes the man is more nurturing than the woman.
Yeah, I've seen that too. I've definitely seen
I think that to have like the nurturing spirit, it don't have nothing to do with gender. It's not a gender thing.
No.
It's not necessarily a gender thing. The nurturing spirit is not a gender thing. Either you're gonna be if you have the gift of empathy or you don't. Because I've seen men that have that gift, and I've met women that they just don't have it.
Yeah.
They just don't have it, So.
And I think that's when that balance comes into play. When those two meet and come together, you know what I mean? So then if it's the man that got it, then cool. He can be that way towards the kids. If the woman got it, then cool.
And see, and that'll be the dynamic where the man is more
right at home and stuff.
More
like
at
that.
home.
Yeah.
More hands on with the kids. And then she just,
Right.
And I just don't think it's a right way or a wrong way to do it. And that's the problem that I have with these different religious doctrines, because they try to tell you this is just this way, this is just this. It's life is lifing.
Yeah.
And we all trying to figure it out. And the blueprint that worked for you might not be the blueprint that worked for me. Right. I came here into this spiritual realm to find my own way. I can't live my life. I can't use my human experience living my life the way that you want me to live my life, or way this person feel like I should be living my life, or what this book, right. I have to do. I came here to get whatever it is I came here to get, and I gotta do it my way. Not to say, and one would probably say most religious people don't lean into your own understanding, but sometimes, you have to really pick yourself to see really what your understanding is. Like, not necessarily be, subscribing to all these different philosophies, because I think that'll put you in a situation like that. You might have like the situation that we just was talking about, case in point, where the man is more nurturing, the woman is dead, is mostly at work, and they might have a perfect dynamic, but because what society feel like their relationship should look like, this marriage is falling apart.
Yep. See it all the time. Yep. You're exactly
These people are falling apart. She talking to her sisters. She talking to all these different people. Right. Girl, he need to be doing this, or girl, he need to be doing that. Or people saying, this is, and they're pulling people apart, man.
Right.
And they system, what they had going on was working for them.
And they system, they submitting. They've decided in their own personal niche and way.
Right.
I submit in this way, and she submit this way.
Right.
And they cool with it.
Right.
And I, like you said, I say all the time, even with men, bro, man, you gonna let her do that, dog?
Right.
Man, it couldn't be me.
Yeah.
Dog, and start getting in his head. Like,
right.
Like, dang, I don't want to be weak, or like I'm not masculine, or whatever.
Right.
Then they go and go mess up something that they had.
And that's why it's good to take some time to yourself to get away from what other people thinking, their opinions, their points of views and stuff like that, and really just get centered and see really what you think and what you feel. And that's why I don't think it's very wise to be talking to family members about what's going on in your relationship.
Right.
All the time. Because I might be experiencing something that my sister didn't never experience, or my brother never experienced this. And people love saying what a person should and what they shouldn't do in situations that they ain't never been in.
Yep.
And it looks different. That's kind of like if I'm in the car and I'm stuck in the mud, and you standing on the outside of the car, and you like, Key, push on the gas a little bit. Now push on the brakes a little bit. Now cut the wheel to the left. Now cut the wheel to the right. You telling me what to do, and I'm in the inside of the car. You can't see what I'm seeing from the inside.
Yeah.
Just like I can't see what you're seeing on the outside.
Right.
So if you talking to somebody that does not have the capability to be transparent enough to look at both perspectives, then you fucked up, right?
Fucked up, yeah.
You taking some advice from somebody that's very partial,
right,
very inexperienced, and they don't know what the fuck they talking about. You about to ruin you about to crash.
Yeah.
You about to go in the whole ditch because you listening to somebody don't
right.
even have a clue.
And they fall for the okie doke because it's somebody that they love or care about, and then that person, their intention might be to
it do be, yeah, I believe that, yeah.
But it be good, but they just don't know, like you said, they don't have that perspective,
right?
So they giving advice from a short perspective, you know what I mean, from a limited perspective,
right? Right.
So yeah,
that's crazy. But anyways, we ain't move goalposts, but submission. I don't mind being submissive if I'm safe. That's it. That's the message. If I don't feel safe, I ain't submitting. Because we not submitting to bitch niggas. Yeah.
Beta.
We not submitting to bitch niggas. We not doing that.
Yeah.
If you a bitch nigga, I'm not submitting to you. I don't give a fuck what you say. I don't care what you talking about. I don't care what your family say. I don't care what the Bible say I should be doing. None of this shit. I'm not submitting to no bitch nigga. So it got to be a certain kind of person to make me feel like I should be submitting. I have to really trust that you have my best interests. I have to really trust that I can just really relax and rest in my feminine and be okay. And I can wake up tomorrow and be okay. That's me. That's what the disconnect for me.
Okay, you done brought them to the disconnect just like that.
Hey, that's my disconnect.
Just like this, Shawty.
We ain't submitting to bitch niggas.
Shawty brought us straight to the disconnect like this. Shawty like, we went ATL. I don't know.
Hey,
like,
I'm trying to tell you.
Let me, since we disconnecting, you know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and make a little connections, you know. So I believe that the disconnect is kind of reiterating a little bit on what was being said, is that in a relationship, y'all find out y'all do's and don'ts. And y'all stick with it. Rock with it, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, keep everybody out your business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If it's good for you and it's good for her, I'm gonna leave it like that. Good for her, good for you. Yeah.
Right.
You know, I ain't gonna even go to the mother levels.
But the happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, happy house, happy spouse.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
I was waiting on you to say it. That's why
happy house, happy spouse. You know
I had to
what
pull you. Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
But if it worked for y'all, you know what I'm saying? She may be taking on a couple little more masculine roles. You may be traditionally masculine roles, traditionally feminine roles.
Exactly.
And it you know, and it worked. You know, I can look at 5 different relationships, 10 different relationships, and I can see that all these different parts. Somebody can say something. Oh, dog, he do this, or dog, she do that. Every one of them. There's not one that you're not gonna find that be like, man, I wouldn't let her, you know, or she shouldn't be doing this, he shouldn't be doing that. It's going to because we all had that masculine and feminine energy.
Right.
At some point, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, and y'all, when I say energy, I don't mean trait like as in masculine, feminine, you know what I'm saying? That type of way.
Yeah.
You know,
flamboyant and
Right. You know what I mean? And more in terms of spirit, in terms of creation, in terms of leadership, in terms of using logic,
balance,
emotion,
duality,
right? In that type of way, you know what I mean? And so some women are more masculine in that way, and some men are more feminine in some of them ways, you know what I'm saying? So just finding that yin and that yang, how y'all yin and yang together,
right,
and rock with it like that, and don't worry about what nobody else say. Tribe.
That's it.
That is the disconnect.
That's the message. I love it.
Yeah. So let's really take them out. Before we go, make sure y'all follow us on social media: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. So Instagram and TikTok at the Disconnect Podcast _ Facebook at the Disconnect Podcast, YouTube at the Disconnect Podcast _ I'm quite sure I said one of them wrong, but it's going to be at the bottom of the screen for y'all to get it right.
And make sure y'all comment, man. We love interacting with y'all. Whether y'all agree with us, disagree with us, throwing shade, all that. We love it. We love it. We love it. And we love y'all. So
yes,
be sure to do that.
Peace and blessings. We are the podcast that heals and builds.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I have learned to piece together pieces that you broke. I can see through all of the deceitful things you wrote. I have managed cracking all the secrets to the codes. You swerved into my lane like you were sleeping on the road. Said we weren't indigenous and brought us here as slaves. Wrote yourself in her story and tore us out the page. Trying to cover up that you're the one that's out of place. Then wonder why my people wilding out and in the rage. Bitch, you lied. We've been certified. My ancestors own this shit, I know that hurt your pride. I'm witnessing truth and lies unfold before my eyes. Present in the flesh, oh what a time to be alive. Understand that white folks not our only enemies. We got those against us that still look like you and me. Just because you talk that talk don't mean you're fooling me. Cause I don't need a savior long as I stay true to me.